Alright, hello there everyone. Welcome to the second episode of our community challenge. For those of you who missed the first episode, definitely check that out, you missed a good one. But the way this campaign works is we are playing Empire at War in the upcoming Thrawn's Revenge 3.2 version, but with some special rules. So in this campaign, I am using a custom faction with a custom roster chosen by the viewers, the patrons, Twitch subs. The only units I'm allowed to use are these special named units. So we have a bunch of different options that were made available to everyone before the playthrough started, and I have coded them in as their own individual units. If we run out of those units, both on ground or in space, then I have nothing, I can't continue when I lose the playthrough. So we have to be very careful with what units we're using where and what we're building. We did find a few gaps in our roster last time. We are lacking pretty much anything in the carrier section. There were a couple carrier options. There was one main carrier option that no one picked until two were picked between the first stream and the second stream. Jorit and Saru were kind enough to pick a C-type thrust ship, which is our carrier type. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to build it right off the bat, but I did go back and make sure that some other stuff was fixed based on last time. The Sphere should be working better now, not costing us 18 pop cap. But we are going to jump right in. And, well, by that I mean we're going to wait just in case they have a hypervelocity gun there for the week to roll over. And then we are going to try to take Mal Drood on. I was kind of questioning whether we should do as much fighting against the actual factions off the bat, but I'm thinking it's the right thing to do. Who did we build there? We just built Deus Volt and let's see, Leaky Bucket maybe? Let's get Leaky Bucket. Getting the weak turnover there. I'm gonna throw the Crusader into this fleet. And then we are going to attack Manon from Deconeamoidi. Because I don't want the Greater Mal Drood building up a lot. I don't want them thinking that they can tell us what to do. So let's go in and see how we handle this. It's only a goal in one, so we should hopefully be able to break through here. Okay.
Enemy forces ahead.
Cruiser standing by.
Sure if it'll shoot that if it is there. All right, we need to. There's not as much here. There's a beta. So they're building influence units at the Transitory Mist, because they do have one of the Transitory Mist planets. They have a couple Guardians as well, an Architens. They have a Star Galleon. It's mostly just breaking through the Tector. So let's see if we can come in over here. You know what? Let's go with the Spirit of Vengeance first.
Coordinates received.
Then we'll have the awesome ship, and we'll have a kite on that side. We'll throw Easy to Pretend behind it, and now let's pop everything in. Duwanawenga in there next. All right, nothing's shooting me yet, so that's a good sign. That's what I was afraid of. Okay. So we will need to now throw in Galadrin Ghost, Pridum, Deus Volt, God Eater. Where's my Alpha? Pride of Commander, Glory, and we also have Laser Cannon Fodder. Okay, now we should be able to move forward with that. I'm Commander Shepard, Citadel, Death Incarnate, Interceptor, and Devil Sanctuary. That is rough. Did that get the engines as well? Shit.
Weapons charged. Weapons online. Frequency open. Holding for maximum fire.
Alright. I think we're losing some stuff there.
Your transmission garbled. Repeat.
Decoding your transmission.
I've got them in my sights. Keep your eyes open. Kenobi battleships reported.
We are in trouble. See, that's what I'm worried about. Is more of that happening.
Awaiting new instructions.
Because we don't have... Until we get an Intigo or something, we don't have the means to handle any of that. I can't retreat.
Moving to attack position.
Thank you, Andrew, for the $5 donation saying good luck. I'll be seeing this after work. Have a good day at work.
Attack formation. Awaiting
I
orders.
might just auto-resolve or something.
Copy. Enemy target sighted.
Are they going to retreat, maybe?
Engines active.
Heavy destroyer.
Hey, there it is.
IPV reporting.
Everybody stop. Alright. Jesus. Thank you, Alduin, as well, for the $5 donation saying, yikes, good luck. We definitely lost some stuff there. That is rough. We need an Intigo or something. I can't do anything until... We lost Friday. We also lost the awesome ship. It went through. That's 2 out of 3 phalanxes that were just down now. But it'll be easy to take the ground here. They only have the hypervelocity gun structure. That is... Ugh. Without an Intigo, there's nothing that can tank it. Because everything else will die in 2 shots.
Reporting.
Which is not enough shots.
Reinforcements canceled.
Fortunate Son.
En route.
When it's done... Grogu's a great squad. Let's get that.
Constructing.
And repairs.
Waiting orders. Standing by. Ready. Aerial artillery reporting. Engines activated.
We are still going to be going without orbital bombardments for now. I was focused on adding units rather than adding the other stuff.
All weapons loaded. T4P ready. At the ready. Receiving
Thank you, Alduin, for the $5 donation saying even an SSD. The SSDs will help once we get to them.
orders.
But I don't want them to build up until the SSDs are there.
Weapons loaded. Give me the target.
Because it'll be a good chunk of time before...
Comlink active. As you wish.
we have enough money to get an SSD.
Squadron moving out. Lancet proceeding.
I don't think we're going to lose that early. I think it's just going to be... Oh, fuck.
Right away. Moving out.
Just going to be harder for us to push.
Heading out.
Because I don't think Mal Drood's going to be able to invade us.
Roger that. Destination ahead.
There's just so many new units are debuting in this playthrough. It wasn't really the intent.
Let's go.
Rhino did do... I think it was... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Rhino. Rhino did the extension of this Manon map.
This way. Over there.
Okay. I'm perfectly happy to just bait stuff in. We know they're not getting garrisons out of this. And I'd rather take extra time on it than rush and die.
Form up. Receiving orders. Lancet targeting. Heading for attack.
You all doing for another $10 donation saying that gunship gives me Halo feel. It is kind of Hornet-y. We can definitely see that.
Command received.
Alright. So, one of the weird things with the lag is it does seem very system specific right now. So, Bob is still, in particular, trying to figure out the causes of it. I need to go between this computer and the other computer to do some testing and see what I can find for system information for like how often it's doing the jittering, so we can have a better idea of what it's coming from. Because like Ek was playing and he had no slowdown in ground or space. Thank you, Andrew, for the $10 donation saying, do the Patreon heroes get the same command boost as normal heroes or no? They do. They'll all get, usually I do, I think, tier 2 or 3. For the joint command heroes, I did tier 3 for the most part. But for these, because I only have 2 or 3 of them, I think I am going to do tier 2. Let's move forward a bit. I'm not sure if they got a field base. That might be where some infantry are coming from. I didn't get that field base, at least. You guys pull back this way. And get back here as well. I want the money back, at least. Get over here so you can actually shoot them. And thank you, Alduin, for another $10 donation saying, or $5 donation saying, Ek just has a better gamer check. I don't know that impacts lag directly. We haven't done a specific test of that, so maybe it does.
Copy. Aerial artillery reporting.
I don't want to rush out when I don't need to.
Ready for orders. Transit proceeding. Attack that target. At the ready. Command received.
Nope, I want you over there, and I want you back over here.
I copy.
Then you guys go kill that.
Affirmative.
Hmm?
Moving out. Heading out.
See if I can keep this alive. Come on. Okay. Good enough.
Yes, Commander.
Did the other one die too? I don't know if the other one died.
Form up. Reporting.
Mandalorians are influence squads as well, yes.
Moving out.
But they're not, like, super strong or anything. They're good, but they're not, like, Mandalorians as put in game by Karen Travis or something. Alright, there we go.
Right away, sir. I copy. Reporting. Your orders?
Maybe we can start moving out that way.
Secondary position.
Construction complete.
Heal up.
Yes, Commander. Heading out. Yes, sir.
God, I really hate losing the phalanxes that early in the campaign. That's so much damage just gone. We only have one left right now.
Awaiting orders. I copy, sir. I copy. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
Trying to take the other planets, it's going to be risky. But I want to do it before they're too built up. Because if we can take them down,
Almost there. Yes, Commander. Acknowledged.
then that's going to be all that we're fighting early game. Because the New Republic is beyond them, the Empire as well, and the PA.
Engines activated. Weapons loaded.
Creep around there.
Heading out. We'll back you up. Right away. We'll cover you. Engaging target.
Alright. Now you guys get out of there. There we go. Now this is the landing pad I want. They have another field base out there. Should be able to support that with either the Nemesis or some infantry if we really need to.
Transit proceeding. Command received. Right away. Moving out. Targeting. Blast them out.
Alright. Let's get the Espo Walkers and more Mandalorians. Rogue come.
At the ready. Heading out. Ready to receive orders.
So those super chats will be going towards the donation goal we have at the bottom of the screen there for our next single stream Galactic Conquest. Even though it doesn't get automatically added by Streamlabs, I do reset that every time. Alright. Do we think they have anything at Umbara? That's the other question.
Building started.
How are we looking for food? Not fantastic. I'm actually going to build a farm on Commodore first. We also did just hit 38,000 subscribers on the channel today, so thank you all for that as well. I'm hoping maybe we get to 40k by the end of the year. But it's been such a slow year for subscribers. It seems like that's the case for everyone that I've spoken to. So going from an average of 200 per month to 1,000 per month would be a big ask, but maybe. Alright.
Construction complete.
Thank you, Alduin, for the $100 donation as well. Said, sorry I had to pick up a phone call. Missed like 5 minutes. Very appreciated. Very generous. That is way too much money. Thank you very much. What does that even... What does that put us at? You're actually pretty close to that goal. Alright, this next victory or defeat, whichever it ends up being, is it's for you, Alduin. I need more ships before I do anything. I don't know how many ships Mal Drood will have, though, either. So... Let's get ourselves... Vestal.
Vehicle in production.
I want something to heal with. They're pretty they're like actually really tanky. So that actually might be a way for us to tank some hypervelocity gunshots. Because the Chronos, I've gone and done a pass on all the Hapan unit stats. That's what I was doing for the last week or so, is some of the initial implementation of Hapan units, but like their old very whip stats, the Chronos had quite a chunk of HP. Which might be enough if we have two healing each other to take on HP gunshots. What do we do next? Let's see. Get that. Deconeomoidia. Let's get a trade station for you. And a trade station for you. Definitely a trade station for you. We already have one though, never mind. Where else would we want a trade port? Balmora would be a really good trade port. There's a lot of good income, too. Starhawk in it yet? It is not in it yet. That's, hopefully next week I'll have any outstanding units finished. Some other people were supposed to do some work on the Starhawk before it went in, but I'm not going to force them to do things that are just for me to use stuff. So if I have to, I'll just do that. That would be kind of mean of me. Thank you, Advent Wolfbane, for the $15 donation saying build a replacement phalanx. Your phalanx, I think, is the last one left. I think yours is 2 for flinching, and it is still there, but I kind of want to get to an Intego before I do that. Otherwise, we're just going to lose that one, too. Our next big purchase, I think. Can we do that? I think I might be able to do that, but I don't know. To attack. Will the Starhawk get a tractor beam ability that damages ships? There will be a representation of the Starhawk's tractor beam. It won't use the actual tractor beam ability, because that's broken as fuck in Empire at War. But there are a few ideas we have on how we're going to handle it. Some of which I'll be testing in this playthrough. Going to be a mini mod to shove the Starhawk in a TR like MC75. So the current MC75 mini mod will be updated to have the Starhawk in it. That'll be how that works. Let's get one more Coronal. Miss Rona. Thank you again, Aldwin, for another $5 saying, I keep getting scam called if you answered my last question. Sorry, I missed the answer. So that would, yeah, the Starhawk will have some representation of its tractor beam. Let's actually get another spy. Just in case. I'm not sure what the exact damage amount is from a hypervelocity gun, actually. But it's more than I want. I don't think anyone's taken any territory in the last little while. So that's good. But let's check that out. On ground, let's get... You ever seen the rain? And some same type of stand. That's some ships there. And that's an HV gun. This looks familiar. What's Manon's base income? 150? I don't think that's worth getting that on just yet. Deco, we have the ion cannon on. Wesley's asking for Corellians. Will some of it be upscaled versions of CEC design? Not really. There are some background DE ships, Dark Empire ships, that kind of look like that, but they're not like huge. There will be larger Corellian ships, but we've already shown what the Strident, for example, will look like. It's not all just going to be like 2B boxes. I think the Strident keeps some of the core elements of Corellian ship designs while also scaling it up in a way that makes sense. Commodore, I think, is going to be... Where you at? You're at 5 influence. Yeah, I'm not behind the third one on that. Kuat has some good money. I can buy that there. Once we have an Intego, I'm going to be a lot more confident. But we're not going to get an Intego for a while. Duro's a lot of money too. That's 94 pop. I think I'm more confident in our ability to take Duro than anything else. So that might be the right move for us.
Underway. Moving out.
Well, the Starhawk's only going to be in a sub-mod. It's not going to be part of the main mod. And like the way the New Republic plays is pretty much as intended. Earlier on, they're relying on carriers. We don't want every faction to just be throw a battlecruiser at people and then you win. That's not really how battlecruisers play out, but Like, that's what players end up skewing towards, is trying to build up towards larger ships. But we saw last time that that's, like, what small ships can do, and there are a lot of factions that will be built almost entirely around small ships. Let's see. Pop in Miss Rona and Vestal, along with Kite Destroyer back and forth. Easy to pretend. Leaky Bucket. I don't actually like this fight.
Retreat in progress.
Not doing it. Did both engines just die? I thought one did. The other one didn't. God fucking damn it. Leaky Bucket. We lost Leaky Bucket. That was such a fucking waste. Ugh.
Brigade standing by.
Well, that wasn't the ship I was looking at, Nolan. Went straight for the fucking engines.
Constructing unit.
Alright, Rise of the Federation.
Receiving orders.
God, I just want money. I just want money. I need something tanky and I want money. No, I have a ton of MC70. Well, not a ton. I don't have a ton of anything. I have several MC75s. But that was someone's only MC75. That wasn't an HV gun. They don't have an HV gun here that I remember.
Construction complete.
Let's see. Eye of Alchemy, Lion's Pride, Bill and Ted, Northumbria.
Standing by. We're heading out. Mon calamari crews are ready.
We're gonna want just a ton of Crusaders to shut down the missiles from that.
Moving to coordinates.
So let's also get Doge, not Buster too.
Right away.
Like, the way the AI is able to actually move its ships together now is one of the things that has made it, like, it's one of the individual changes that has made the game
Standing by.
more difficult than any, like, actual AI change. It's been so much more difficult fighting larger fleets with that in place.
I'll get there.
Like, I feel like it's going to be the source of a lot of day one complaints for players who used to think they were good. And probably a lot of people who are talking shit in the comments of these videos, too.
The enemy is approaching.
Well, we were in range for early attacks there. The heightened vulnerability was still on for everything. I didn't jump out far enough. Alright, Miss Rona, Vestal, Bill and Ted. I mean, we just said the names of everything as we built it.
Coordinates received. En route. Moving out.
Let's get them in. Let's get Easy to Pretend.
We're heading out.
Spirit of Vengeance. Take this story back and forth. I was so focused on the Syndic, I didn't notice the MC75 was getting hammered. Alpha, Cossack, God Eater, Commander, 3.
Reinforcements en route. Reinforcements en route.
We do get a couple bombers with
Weapons
the Coronals. They're not really gonna be carriers, but they They're carriers for the purposes of this playthrough because I had no other carriers.
Weapons charged. Weapons charged. Weapons online. Our target priority is the laser cannons.
Right, I want to kill that. Where's go on that? Most of those missiles are getting zapped.
Weapons charged. Take out the missile launchers.
Targeting at maximum firepower.
Yeah, we got, I think the first appearance of the actives.
Frequency open.
Yes, Commander. Destroy their turbo lasers.
These bombers are slowly making their way in.
Kenobi battleship reporting. Awaiting command. Battleship standing by. Enemies in range.
Alright. Now we can start killing stuff at least one at a time.
What do you need, sir?
We don't really have to worry about the invincible with this. I don't actually know the difference between the Vic 1 and 2. Hold on. 2 light duels, 6 medium lasers, and an assault conch. Okay. Not the most threatening, especially when we have the missiles stopped.
It's the next star destroyer here.
They were more of a problem for the bombers going through. Like, they'll still put out some decent damage, but with the missiles stopped, that's a good chunk of damage we're preventing from both of these ships.
Yes, Commander.
Form up. Target those missile launchers.
That one is taking some damage.
Weapon systems.
Are you not in range for that one?
At the ready. Target the
It's the next star
lasers.
destroyer here.
A heavy duel on that.
A-wing squad cannons ready to receive.
Unfortunate if we lose a two. But it's getting some healing. Okay, it's healing back up.
Firing on their weapon system.
Holding for maximum firepower.
I mean, it doesn't change the fact that Invincible is really good. It's just I spam stuff to specifically counter it. So yeah, if you send a bunch of missile ships in alone, which is what this entire fleet was, it was like Invincible. I think that was an AK Assault variant. The Victory 1s had missiles against this many point defense ships, or even more point defense ships.
What do you need?
They're going to be less effective, and even then it was still almost breaking through that. But we made it.
We are victorious.
Yeah, I don't think we lost anything on that one. That was a much better fight for us. Okay, Death Incarnate. Never mind. Rest in peace, Death Incarnate. I thought, God rest your soul. God rest his soul. We've taken Salami. And we are going in on Duro.
Invasion commencing.
Who's taking Ball's Pity? They've only got Klaatuine between the two of them. Wesley's asking, the Architects has a couple of derivatives, the Sea Command, Thunder Wasp. Enough variations, their own ship classes. I don't think we need a bunch of Architects variants. Like the Moff Gideon version will probably show up in Imperial Reign somewhere, but like we're not really looking to
Awaiting orders.
throw in just the extra ships for their own sake, unless like someone gets bored and wants to do it for indigenous forces or revolt forces.
Reinforcements en route.
A lot of that is also like canon only, where we're gonna have less use for it too.
Copy. I copy. On, advance. Move out. Comlink active.
Well,
Roger
yeah,
that.
you tried.
Reporting. Form up. Awaiting orders. Let's move out. Let's go. Order acknowledged.
The best one would be to get there.
Moving to that area, sir. Copy. I copy. Keep
We
going.
want, I think, an anti-infantry turret. They have a lot of infantry here. So if infantry come around, that'll pay for itself.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander. Ready. Lancet standing by. Aerial artillery reporting. Orders, sir. Orders.
Right, killing our own police enforcers.
This way.
Very sad.
At the ready. Reporting.
Alright, there's more.
Comlink active.
Kill the T1s.
Awaiting orders. Roger that. Engines activated.
And same type of stand, you can come in along with when it's done. And boom bus. This is mostly going to be infantry. I think it was just like 7 or 8 squads from when we saw it the first time. So having all these like single target anti-vehicle vehicles, not the best for this.
Yes, sir.
Will you be able to combine Canon and Legends and Imperial Reign? It will be either or. So at first we're just going to be making like Canon GCs and Legends GCs. After that, it's possible we'll do some maps that like mix content, but that'd come later once we've already got the rest kind of established. Nope, get the fuck out.
Destination ahead. Aerial artillery
No,
reporting.
you shoot them.
Heading for attack position. Ready for orders. Attack.
Suppressive fire. Target locked.
At the ready.
I'm gonna be honest, the strike breakers are one of the main reasons I'm not worried about round as much. They're just so versatile, they can protect our infantry a lot.
Fly-wing standing by.
They make me happy. The CSA doesn't need air attacks to be cool.
Attack that target.
Oh, that barely
Yes, sir.
survived.
Attacking target.
Alright, other massive single shot cannon vehicles, get in there. Is there any way defensive fleets can be jumped in with a Pathfinder, so the current method where they spawn and you can't pick which ships? Not really, unfortunately. There are some things we've spoken about trying where
Targeting.
you'd be able to like press a button somewhere and it'll send your fleet back into the reinforcement pool. But there's a lot of potential ways for that to fail, so there's no real guarantee it'd work. And that'd be the only way to really do it. You can't just have a direct copy of the
Receiving orders.
attacking version. It's impossible to just like transfer that or something.
Lancet standing by.
Get on over.
Aerial artillery reporting. Squadron moving out. Lancet proceeding. Command received.
Destroy the AA turret. should still outdamage it, even if it's not the most optimal use of my health. Well, unfortunately for that Valerie, it wouldn't really work for the AI either way, because the AI would suddenly see all of its units are gone and be like, oh shit, I need to leave more often than not. So even if we're able to make the player able to do it on defense, I don't think it's something that the AI would be able to use on either side.
Ready for orders. At the ready. Moving out.
Suppressive
Open
fire.
fire. Ready to receive orders.
The AI would be more prone to just like lose a battle with it. Because one of the other problems with it is we'd also, if you tried to put it in for the AI on attack, you'd have to leave a unit behind as a faux pathfinder so they don't insta-lose. But then a lot of players, especially if we mixed it with the ability to do it on defense, would be able to cheese that really easily, where you just wait until it takes the AI's units away, drop something in on the pathfinder if it's weak enough, and then you've just insta-won and the AI can do nothing about it. Like, there are a bunch of battles that I've won even on the channel where they had a bunch of units in reserve, and I'll just make sure I kill everything at the same time so the battle ends and they don't have a chance to bring stuff in. Even if they do semi-attempt to bring it in, like the battle registers as closed before the units are actually in the battle. So that'd be a case where even if we were able to do it for one side of that, we wouldn't be able to do both things with it. Right. There.
This way.
And this should kill it. Alright, that's a good amount of money for us at least. That'll only be 2 weeks to repay itself. Or pay for itself, not repay itself. Okay. 89. We should be able to afford an Antigo next week. Head of Star Alignment actually started doing stuff now. Alright, I am going to save now, because it's been a good 45 minutes without saving. I guess I can only hope for a crash so that I can get all my ships back for so long. How far through Imperial Reign would you say you are in percentage? That is impossible to say. Very early. It's still just me doing basic conceptual stuff. What next? I'm pretty happy with our ground army for now. What I really want is for the Greater Mal Drood to attack there. Just, like, send this fleet in right now. Save us the trouble of attacking it with the hypervelocity gun. Yeah, we're getting our first Antigo, Shield of Wrath. You estimate completion percent of Revan's Revenge, or you just represent it with the Price of Laughter? So the thing with Revan's Revenge is it's more assets than trying to figure out concepts and the actual gameplay mechanics. The thing with Imperial Reign is it's mostly that, which, if stuff works out initially, it's not the most labor-intensive to do some of the government mechanics and gameplay mechanics. It's more doing things, seeing what works and what doesn't, and iterating on that. Whereas with Revan's Revenge, the gameplay is a lot more similar to what we've established already in Thrawn's Revenge and Fall of the Republic. So it's a lot easier to estimate how far we are in completion with that because it's X amount of models, X amount of textures, X amount of other units or structures or whatever. So for that, like, we have all the Republic space units done, other than fighters. We have 2 Mandalorian space units done and 2 Sith space units done. We're aiming for 5 or 6 per faction for initial goals. Whether that ends up being what's in the first release or just when we deem it like playable enough for actual development and testing. So beyond that, it's just doing whatever we need to for ground, which will be more weapon models than anything placed on a basic set of infantry models at first that we'll definitely want to expand on. We'll want more different types of them, but it'll be easier to set up the gameplay there than with Imperial Reign, where we have basically all the assets we need. There are some that are base game only, like Vader, the Death Stars, that we might need to upgrade or update, but at least, like, there'd be no major missing content if we did a first release like that with Imperial Reign, even if there's stuff like the Arc Hammer that we'd want to add later on. So it's easier for us to know with Revan's Revenge and Reign. Nubia doesn't have enough money to be worth taxing heavily. We'd get 100 credits out of it if we built a tax agency there. We increase the taxation level. They're actually getting pretty far out here. It's not what I like to see. Where's the... Ubriki is actually going to be easy enough to defend if we can get to it. Okay, let's see if we can do this before they get it up to a goal in 3, because that'll be much harder for us to break through. Does influence no longer affect planet income? Not directly. Instead, influence drops when you have higher taxation levels. Influence does enough other stuff now that we don't need to just slap on income as a way to make it worth anything.
Enemy unit sighted.
What a weird map. Okay. I think... Shield of Wrath, Miss Rona and Vestal. Easy to pretend. Federation. Now, who are you gonna hit? Spirit of Vengeance. And let's send some bombers over there. My kite back and forth. Where's my alpha?
Moving to destination.
Throw in these guys.
Moving to coordinates. Let's go. Star Destroyer reporting in. Coordinates received.
Okay, fall back over there.
Bombs away.
Sending Star Destroyer here.
Yes, Commander.
Yes, Commander.
Another attack.
I've got it.
Choose your reinforcements. Move out. Reinforcements cancelled. What do you need, sir?
Alright. Let's get that. This battle dragon needs to actually go and shoot someone, because that's a lot of damage we're missing out on right now. And get on them.
Sending Star Destroyer here. Destroy their turbo lasers.
My tills, your tills, Y wings. There we go.
Yes, Commander. Firing on my weapon systems.
Awaiting your command.
Okay, let's get the Intego on that, because I think the Intego has a good amount of ion damage. Yeah, 4 heavy ions.
Free to attack.
You need to come over here.
Ship weapons are online.
Taking out a lot of their lasers. Battle Dragon on this side.
I've got a lock.
Go through that as well.
Your command, sir.
Eliminating target. Getting a lock. I've got him.
Here we go.
I've got him.
Sonic Star Destroyer here. Yes, Commander. Target acquired.
Sir, I've got him.
All batteries fire on the target.
Alright. Now we're gonna want to go for... No, you know what? We gotta stay on this side.
What do you need, sir?
Formation.
I need help. I've been hit. Excellent shot. I've got one on me. I got one. Weapons online. Cruiser here.
Gonna stay on that.
Sonic Star Destroyer here.
I've lost engine 2. I've got
Gonna pull these on that side. Bombers start going for that. Alright. Here we go.
Yes, Commander.
Get behind him.
Firing on the target.
Sir, I've got him. Eliminating target.
Ooh, shit. That MC-75 is getting picked on as well.
weapons charged. The lasers are our target.
Falling out of formation.
Detector's nearly dead. You're nearly dead. Alright. Let's start attacking the Golan. And hopefully they decide to retreat sooner than later, too. We didn't really get as much out of the Kadalbe as I'd like on that one. Alright, let's pull you out too. Battle Dragon, you can hard weapons on that, and that'll really do some damage. Over there.
What do you need, sir?
Okay, come on this way.
Star Destroyer standing by. Crusader's weapons are charged and ready.
Please just retreat.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Otherwise, I'm retreating.
I copy. Those torpedo launchers must be destroyed. Attack formation.
Like, that gives up the MC-75, but otherwise they're gonna get another hypervelocity gun shot off. Not ideal, but I'd rather lose the MC-75 than the Intego. We are going to get 2 for flinching on that. And that should mean we can go and take that planet on its own. Thank you, Revenant, for the $3.80 donation. Very appreciated.
Tactical battle imminent.
It's 2 MC-75s we've lost now like that.
Look, sir, it's them.
A lot of Citadels died for that one, too.
Choose your reinforcements.
Field of Wrath.
Around.
Right back and forth.
Hypervelocity cannon fire.
Corona and Vestal. Easy to pretend. Here to Vengeance. Where's my Alpha?
Sonic Star Destroyer here.
Reporting. Those laser banks.
See, this is going to be the difficulty for most of the campaign. Like,
Awaiting orders.
Say that again, please.
except for battles where we have an SSD or something, we're gonna take a lot of attrition to hypervelocity guns and trying to wear down the bases.
Firing on my weapon systems. Sending Star Destroyer here. Target acquired.
Awaiting your command. Engaging.
Alright.
The lasers are our target. Our target priority is the laser cannons. We've got them on scopes. Commander, getting a lot.
You can waste the first shot if you send in a fast enough target to dodge it, but it should, after that, it'll cycle to something else.
Invasion commencing.
We gotta take this before the week ticks over.
Roger.
Yeah, FTGU does end up very
Reinforcements en route.
border and therefore
Reporting in.
At maximum
ground to space weapon heavy.
I copy.
Roger that.
Reporting.
Form up.
Let's make infantry that have stealth for the purpose of doing raids and taking out HVPs. Well, that was something only the rebels could do in the base game. The Empire can do the same for ion cannons, but it was also one of the most infuriating mechanics of the base game. It's not something that, whenever we've tried it, it's gone poorly.
Aerial artillery.
The actual raid mechanic. There are some units in Fall of the Republic that have raid, or have stealth. There are some heroes in TR that have stealth. But the way the mod works, it's not something we want to reintroduce.
Ready for orders. At the ready. Ready to receive orders.
Like,
Squadron moving out.
in most campaigns, the fact that you take unit attrition, like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed, like, if you're killing massive stacks of enemy units, you're going to lose units yourself.
Comlink.
The reason it's a problem for this campaign is because this is not a standard campaign. We have a pretty specific limit for each unit type.
Right away. Moving out. Form up.
So, like, we wouldn't make balance changes based on how the community challenge goes. The problems that we're facing here are very specific to the community challenge.
Copy. Attack that target. I copy. Attacking target. Reporting.
Alright. We should be able to go deploy at this landing zone.
Ready for orders. Targeting. At the ready. Keep going. This way. Ready to receive orders. Comlink active. Awaiting orders. Engaging.
Copy.
Okay, get back there. These guys are still just gonna be dead. Probably want to drop these guys as well.
As you wish. Squadron moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander. Landed proceeding.
Providing backup.
Alright, when it's done, boom bus, some type of stand.
Command received. Landed standing by.
Send these guys up.
Right away.
See if we can take out their garrisons.
Landed targeting. Reporting in. Heading out.
Then we'll just fall back on that.
Heading
You guys can go over there. And infantry, get back to help on this.
Locking on. All right, men, take cover.
Artillery reporting.
Alright, I'm gonna send the Nemesis back up to help. These guys need to get back to our main force. And we'll send the MMTs around this way, the MZ8s around that way, and split the infantry. Send most over there, because we're going to be sending the rest along with the Strikebreaker and Nemesis to this one. Alright, here we go. Strikebreakers around that side. Alright. There were a lot of Canderous tanks chosen, they just haven't shown up on the build bar yet. That's just how it's shaken out. And I think that one was a lossless one. Yeah. Still at 9 pop there. What's the base credits from Bara? 200. That's not bad.
Beginning construction.
Ubrikia is where we really want to go. I'm gonna get some spies for that. And I think we want Azure Ball. If we get Ubrikia and Thanos, then it'll be a snap taking the rest of them. Actually, let's see what our ground stuff actually was. Yeah, still no Canderous tanks, but we can get Gilzanes if we want. A bunch of jail speeders. I don't think we want those quite yet. Here, let's get that somewhere else. It'll be faster. I think we have another station somewhere. Helps if I'm in the right tab for it. Make sure that I queue up the same one. There we go. And probably save again too. There's so many new units, I imagine there's got to be something coded poorly somewhere for one of them that'll cause a crash alone, leaving aside any other potential problems that can come up. Once we have Thanos and Ubrikia, we're going to start focusing on expanding through the north and the rest of the core. I just want to make sure we have those two that we can build up over time without having to push out too far. Because that'll also mean the Greater Mal Drood is close to a non-threat. Like, they're going to provide at least a buffer zone against the New Republic, but they hopefully won't be able to build up too much after that. Like, they'll still have Roche, they'll have Boss Pity, but they'll be split up between their two sections. And so there is, I forgot to mention at the start, and for the last hour and a half, but there is a spreadsheet that's linked in the description, which will show you all the units we've both got available, which have been built, and which are dead. I pretty often will miss stuff that's been killed. I try to go through and remember or find the stuff that's dead. But if you notice something on the spreadsheet that you know has died and it's not marked out, just let me know in the comments or in the Discord, and I'll fix it. Because that is, especially on ground, it's much harder to keep track of. Should probably give like right access to one of the devs or something, or to a bunch of them if they notice anything. Let's see. Build. What do we want next? A Bulwark 3 would be really nice. But that's the cost of the Bulwark plus the cost of the station. Oh well. We're starting to get our money. This is going to bring us up to 800 credits from you. Umbara... Can't get a tax agency there yet. I guess we may as well build a trade port on Commodore. Anywhere that's 4 or 5 is ideal. 3 will take for now. We can get rid of them later. And if it's 3 weeks, then that'll be... We'll make 100 credits off of it net, so...
Moving out.
Thanks, heavy destroyer stands ready.
Okay, Ubrikia. Now we can back the Phalanx up with a Intego, so we actually have something putting out more damage. Right now, like, a lot of the damage is actually going to be coming from the Syndic, the Battle Dragons. These are things that we do not want to be our only sources of damage right now, because we have like 1 Battle Dragon. Ooh, you don't have a hyper velocity gun. You know what that means? That means we're invading you before you build a hyper velocity gun with that last
Construction complete.
that last slot. Please don't build it while I'm there. Please don't build it while I'm there. Please don't build it while I'm there.
Tactical battle imminent.
Alright. They didn't do it. This is what we live for. The HV-less shot. Battles. I don't know. Don't judge me. I'm scared.
Choose your reinforcements.
Now we can take our time. Shield of Wrath. 2 for flinching. Flank it with our little baby turtles.
Syndic moving out.
Get back and forth. Easy to pretend. Spirit of Vengeance. Wenga. God Eater. All of our fun
Let's go.
anti-fighters.
En route. Moving out.
What if the anti-fighters are the real fighters? Pride of Commander, Glory, and Laser Cannon Fodder.
Ready. Bomber targeting.
I copy. We're setting course for those coordinates.
Decoding your transmission.
The HUD ship from after the Von Crisis? No. The Cossack is, I believe, early Imperial? It's not an especially late one. It's not one of the ones that's from after the Von killed all of them.
Awaiting new instructions, Commander. Destroy those weapons.
Copy. Our target priority
Yes, Commander.
is the laser cannon.
Destroy their turbo lasers.
Roger. Warm up. Target confirmed. Bombers.
I'm going to send the bombers after that one, actually.
Drawing their fire.
Get the Battle Dragon in.
Waiting order.
Thanks, heavy destroyer stands ready.
Engines helping you.
Ready for orders.
What do you need, sir?
Alright, it's actually in range, so let's start pumping some fire into that. Oh, no you don't.
Gunship weapons are online.
You all need to die. None of this sneaking in with heavy bombers. Because wasn't the Cossack in one of the RPG source books? King of the Vong, when is that update coming? They might be included in some form in point 3, not in point 2. Inertial has been doing a lot of Vong ship work, so we actually have 4-ish ready at this point.
Awaiting new instructions, Commander. Initialize general bombardment.
For the Empire.
I think the Lords of Nalhutta stuff is generally implied to
It's online. Fire at will. They're coming in quick.
include mostly like Imperial era stuff. But I'd have to look again.
Try not to let one on your tail. That's got him.
It's definitely not explicit.
Bombers at the ready. Heading for attack position.
Yes, Commander.
I copy. Reporting.
All the little sails or something. This little turtle friend.
Thanks, heavy destroyer stands ready. What do you need, sir?
Alright, let's give the
Moving to coordinates.
Kadal Bay and the Syndic a chance to rest here.
Here. Awaiting new instructions, Commander.
Open fire.
Thanks, heavy destroyer stands ready.
Star Destroyer standing by.
Yeah, the turtles, the Coronals, are a Hapan fleet tender.
Decoding your transmission.
The Hapans have a lot of ships that fall below the targetable hardpoint cutoff, so
All mechanisms. Awaiting
having a good tender is really handy for them.
Commander, attack that target.
Thanks, heavy destroyer stands ready. Destroyer en route. Decoding your transmission.
Battleship reporting.
Bring some more of this closer. Easy to pretend. We kind of need you up here.
Awaiting new instructions.
Get some more damage, please.
Awaiting your orders.
I hadn't seen the last tiebreaker. I had it queued up inside the stream for afterwards. That's good. I don't think NA's made it out for years now.
Awaiting your command.
Decoding your transmission.
Well, the Coronals will have targetable hardpoints themselves. They don't currently, but it's just a lot of their other ships
Firing on their weapon system.
fall below it. Well, Coronals are technically above the cutoff, but there are a few where we skew that. It's usually about 450 to 500 meters where we stop it.
Attacking target.
Or if it's going to have so few hardpoints as to make it not worth it.
Awaiting new instructions, Commander. Next Star Destroyer here. Understood. Yes, Commander.
Commander.
Thanks, heavy destroyer stands ready.
Okay.
Instructions received.
Targeting at maximum firepower.
What do you need, sir?
Reporting in. Attacking.
That's their capital shipyard done.
Battleship
Next Star Destroyer here. Syndic moving out. Awaiting new instructions, Commander.
Roger that.
ready to receive orders. Get behind them. Ready.
Yes, heavy destroyer stands ready.
Fire.
Former. Targeting. Destroyer here. Our target priority is the laser cannon.
What do you need, sir?
Copied. Firing.
Syndic Star Destroyer here.
And they're leaving.
I copy.
A weird sound effect. No, Northumbria's dead. That's sad. Which map does Ubrikia have? Okay, that's the Fondor / Castel.
Invasion commencing.
They do still have Thanos and Roche, so they're not fully cut off of capital shipyards. It's just we took one from them. So,
Yes, sir.
still better than nothing.
Choose your reinforcements. Reinforcements on
But let's get the old crew back together.
maximum unit
Reporting in.
capacity.
Keep going.
I don't think I've played on this edit yet.
Way.
So up here, this is basically the Fondor base game map, and then Rhino added another southern part of it. So you can't just like artillery into the base quite as easily from here. You still sort of can. You need more vision than you can get.
Form up. Spread out, men.
As you wish.
Okay.
Awaiting orders. Copy. I copy.
Want that.
Moving out. Reporting.
You have 11k credits.
Squadron moving out.
Order acknowledged.
That explosion on. Okay, well we're gonna kill some New Republic civilians at least.
Lancet proceeding. Open fire.
Alright, there's a New Republic field base from their civilians. Basically gonna be a three-way battle now. The ground lag is really fucking annoying right now. Don't know what's causing it.
Move out. Right away, sir.
Get out of there.
Awaiting orders.
Thank you, Rock and Ruin, for 5 months of captainship. Very appreciated. Kill the bar. Get away from the. With that kind of stutter, it's often an AI thing when it's like that consistent with that many like happening on a persistent loop. So one of the things we're going to try is disabling all the mod AI stuff and testing it with just the base game ground AI, seeing if that gets any better for us.
At the ready. Moving out.
Right behind you.
Thank you, Alduin, for the $5 donation, saying Corey loves his war crimes. They're deciding to come into the battle as armed combatants. It's all these other houses with people living in it that like no one's shooting. So I don't know what you want from me.
Fighting fire. Order acknowledged. Move out.
Let's see. It'll look frozen for a second, sorry.
Come on, man, this way.
Alright, let's get them in. We'll get some of these guys, some Espo walkers.
Form up. Destination ahead. Let's move out.
Let's kill the bikes.
Fire at will. Awaiting orders.
You guys need to go kill that.
Cut through. Copy. Let's go. Keep going.
Wait, that's an AA turret. That's an AA turret. You don't want to fly near that. Can I look at, like, individual core? Gotta be a way. Oh well. You rock and ruin for the $5 donation. And Alduin for the $10 donation as well. Asking, will you add neutral civilian units that appear randomly in battle like Republic at War did and have consequences for killing neutral combatants? We probably won't go that far. We are not looking to include actual war crimes as one of the main game mechanics.
Roger that. Computer's locked on target.
We want to handle even the regular indigenous militia units differently, because the way they work right now, they're not that engaging, and having, like, neutral one, like, you can't really have neutral ones and then be able to kill them. They'd have to be affiliated with someone that you can actually attack and just mark them as, like, not opportunity fire targets. But then often the AI or the player will accidentally kill them in a way you can't really avoid. So to the extent that they'd impact gameplay, they'd mostly be annoying. Because honestly, I never felt they added that much to Republic at War. They're not something that I think is worth working on or worth fleshing out for the mod here.
As you wish. Ready to go.
Get these guys up here. Like, it's more the kind of thing that people think is interesting for 3 seconds as haha meme potential, but then, like, it... I did not get some money. Okay, back you out. You out. Nope. That's not how backing out works. Down there.
Aerial artillery reporting. Ready for orders.
Got the riot patrol ones.
At the ready.
I think we're gonna want to come around this way.
Ready to receive orders. Moving out. Heading out. Destination ahead. Engaging. Let's move out.
Yeah, nope. Get out of there. The kind of pocket turrets here,
Keep going.
they might be a bit too protected, because, like, the angles you'll be coming from will often be that one. And the AI just won't really know how to shoot that.
Roger that. This way.
Get some repairs.
Skiff ready. Pirate skiff mobile. Adjusting nav computer.
There we go.
Reporting in.
Got some money out of that. What's over there? Another mine. So maybe if they don't grab that.
Reporting in.
I think these guys have grenades. Yeah, 2 concussion grenades and ion cannon.
Yes, sir.
Form up.
Armed for combat.
So they're not your standard missile hailfires.
I copy, sir.
Okay, so my CPU isn't actually jumping when that happens, but my GPU it looks like it is.
Moving into position.
Trying to keep an eye on that while I...
Underway. Almost there.
Ready.
Awaiting orders.
MSS.
Reporting.
Okay, let's pull in from this side.
I copy.
Guys that way, you guys this way. I really want to get that other mining facility as well.
Yes,
I don't know if I'll be able to. There we go.
Y-wing here.
That's down, so we should be able to get some damage onto the base itself, and you guys
Enemies in range. Roger that.
get up there.
Reporting. Ready for orders. As you wish.
Did that not make it either? Was there? Yeah, there was another AA turret. Alright, we should be safe getting into this area.
Selected. Circuits functional.
All right, men, take cover.
Missile ready.
Ready to receive orders. Transit proceeding. Ready for attack position.
Go back to up. Give me a target.
Alright. That should be fine.
Comlink active. Roger that.
You still need to go heal. You guys get up there. Need to kill that. Yeah, these walls probably need to be removed. Because otherwise, especially for the AI, they're just gonna stand there and attack the wall all day. Using terrain cover in EAW is usually suboptimal for how the game doesn't care about terrain. Okay,
Yes, Commander.
repair any of them? No. Get that strike breaker back in here.
Let's go. Lancet standing by.
I think there's only the one field base left up there.
This way. Ready for orders. At the ready.
Nope, you were supposed to go over to that. Move you guys in. I mean, good luck bombing the aerial unit.
Copy.
I need to check, like, the other thing I want to check is if any of the infantry we're using here have land evaluators. The same thing that was making E1 battle droids lag for a while. They shouldn't be working individually like that. I don't think any of them do, but just in case. Because that'd be a big potential cause of lag. I don't think those turrets are able to hit us. No. There we go. Yeah, I think even another path through there, that'd be pretty good too.
Planetary control achieved.
Building under construction.
I don't know if we actually got the money out of that. I think we did. I'm gonna save again. Alright, that's another capital shipyard for us, and one that we're gonna build up a fair bit as well. I don't know if they'll have built a hypervelocity gun on Thanos as well. Because if they haven't, that's another potential target for us right now, too. That'll be the last planet we really want to take in the east right at the moment. We'll probably take Thanos and the transitory mist as well before they build it up too much. But... or Tagoria and Terraphon, not... yeah, I don't know. Words are hard. So let's get that. And here, let's queue up Jagged Edge. Brykia, we're already there. We get the 50. Nice. And Brykia, I think it's a pretty decent base income. Yeah, 250. That'll be definitely worth dropping a tax agency on. With our next round of credits, we're going to get a parts factory. And probably more food on Duro as well. We'll probably want 2 of each with the next round of credits. With our next round of funding, we will invest in our futures. The MZ8 is not slated for any of the Imperials, no.
Construction complete.
And Tiber will be available, Duzinch. Tiber and Uri, at least. Let's see. What do we got on Duxton? Those are some Defender assault carriers, right? Not at Majestic. Yep. Anti-Fighter will take care of that. 2 Invincibles, Anti-Fighter will take care of that. So, in there. Okay. Tagoria has a lot of units, but nothing huge. Threatening, but I think we can handle that with our fleet. Like, we have enough tanky stuff, and I don't think they have enough damage output from they have there to threaten the Intigos. The Gladiators are better against larger stuff, but it's usually no. Thank you, Alwyn, for the $5 donation asking, will Uri have his insane regeneration? He will have regeneration. Valor Tie healing will be represented. They do have an hypervelocity gun there, but they don't have a huge fleet. Unless they move in from here, in which case we're leaving. But we should be able to crack a Golan 1 a lot faster. A Golan 1, is that an ISD or Tector? That's an ISD 1. Doesn't have the T.
They're in this direction.
Time for us to spill the tea, though. Aradoc blood is the tea. In case anyone was unclear on that. Alright, Shield of Wrath. Pop you for there. I will be able to permit drive like how boarding the shuttles work, but for land. No. Capturing units on land is a lot more problematic than space. Aside from many balance concerns, there are... So, like, ground units work off of companies, so capturing an individual ground unit doesn't necessarily mean you control the whole company, whereas in space, unless it's a squadron, you do control the whole unit. So it's a lot harder to... to keep track of whether you should get the actual unit or not. Because you can't turn the... You can't make an impromptu company out of whatever else you have. It has to be the whole thing. Spirit of Vengeance. Easy to pretend are enders.
Holding for maximum fire. They're hitting us. Moving to destination.
Reinforcements canceled.
Nope, I want you to actually get in the battle, please.
Right away. Moving out. I have
Wanga, where's my alpha? We did actually get a second beta cruiser requested. We only had one at the start of the campaign.
eliminating target. Roger that. I'm on them. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so in order to make something that could do ground boarding, essentially, you'd need to have a way to determine what the appropriate company is for the unit that you're capturing, which would mean probably a library of options. Then you'd have to decide, like, if you capture one ATST, should that mean you get the full ATST company, or should we check that you've captured 4 ATSTs before you're allowed to do it? And that gets really complicated to track and spawn and everything. Just think of how many bugs tend to arise in boarding as it is, and it'd be worse than that.
Weapons online.
What do you need, sir?
Awaiting your ready go. Attack commencing.
Sending stars.
There we go.
Here. Awaiting your instructions.
I wanted to make sure we didn't lose anything to the travel time from the hypervelocity gun, because I wasn't especially scared of their actual fleet or units. Splitting it into this, we were able to draw aggro onto the Chiss ships, basically, and then use the rest of our fleet to
Yes, Commander.
take out the ISD. Because between the Kadalbe, the Battle Dragon, some of the extra damage there, when it's turned towards the other stuff, I'm not worried about it being able to kill our stuff.
Awaiting new instructions, Commander. Fire all mechanisms. Initialize general bombardment.
Your command, sir.
Alright.
Battleship report. Enemy craft.
What do you need, sir?
Coming around.
Commander. Moving in for the kill.
Battleship.
Because now we'll be able to just
Heavy destroyer.
get over to the XQ. We won't lose the Intigo for it.
Decoding your transmission.
Moving out.
And the Mal Drood menace will be much diminished.
New instructions, Commander.
Roger that.
Sending star destroyer here. Thanks, heavy destroyer stands ready.
Warm up.
It also gets even more complicated because for space, you actually, if you capture a unit, it doesn't have to have your faction's affiliation in the code for the AI to use it properly. On ground, if the AI is ever going to have access to a unit, it has to be in the unit's affiliation, or else you'll run into problems where the AI won't actually land the units, which is something that happened a lot in earlier versions. Unfortunately, we did lose Adderable, Eye of Alchemy, and Nutbuster too. Rest in peace, all of you. Gone too soon. Oh shit.
Fallout.
I'm gonna leave and come back. I'm not sure if the ground units would have been able to get there before the week rolled over and we lost a unit to the hypervelocity gun. So just to be safe.
Move out.
They might have just been able to make it, but I don't want to take that risk. There's no reason to take that risk.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Yeah, they wouldn't have made it. We actually not have any infantry anymore? We don't. They all just die? I guess not enough of them survived per company for the last battle.
Yes, sir. Choose your reinforcements.
Really unfortunate for them.
Yes, en route.
Heading out.
Luckily, we actually got the landing zone, at least.
This way.
Form up. As you wish. Squadron moving out. Transit proceeding.
We should still be able to win this.
Enemy forces ahead.
Targeting.
Thank you, Loco0 for the $5 donation, saying, I want to know you by asking when Thrawn's Revenge 3.2 will come out. You'll have to agree on it. I will ask when the earliest it might come out would be. Let us know it definitely won't be out by Christmas, etc. It's really impossible to say. Like, in order for it to be out by Christmas, we'd probably need to finish the next week, so that's probably not happening. But Fall of the Republic, it's not impossible that Fall of the Republic comes out this year, because there's much less that has to happen there.
Reporting. Firing.
That's mostly stations that need to happen.
Moving into position. Copy. We'll cover you.
Yes, sir. Heading out.
Unit
Yes, Commander.
destroyed.
Get up there. There we go. Okay. Because for Thrawn's Revenge, there's finishing off the entire Hapan faction, which at this point means their ground stuff and 4 space textures, plus a lot of testing and tweaking, though. So, and a bunch of like fighters and stuff.
Keep going.
That's a little bit easier.
Over there. Ready for orders. At the ready.
Okay.
Attack our target.
The triple set. How's it going? Stop running. Die, you cowards.
Yes, sir.
Ready to receive orders.
Survival mode ever come back to TR and find its way to Fall of the Republic? It will come back.
Form up.
Probably not for point 2, but oh shit.
Commence.
You're gonna die? You're gonna die. This one live? It lived! Yeah, survival mode will come back. For those who don't know, we used to have a wave survival mode, which we called survival mode, very creatively, but it does what it says on the tin. So it was very whip when it was in the mod, and then there were some of the reworks just required redoing a lot of it, and that was never done. So it just kind of fell off and got removed, but it is something that we really want to re-implement. Like, Ranger's been doing a lot of other game modes. We do want we want the classic one back as well. So I'm really thinking it's got to be one of our infantry companies, because you'll notice this battle hasn't been lagging the way the other ones have been. And like, it's not infantry in general, because Mal Drood has a lot of infantry. We just don't. So I'm gonna have to check the Mandalorians especially, because they've been in every battle.
Let's go. Open fire.
I wouldn't be surprised if, because of their age and assets, they ended up with some stuff that they shouldn't have. Which, if they did, it's not Nolan's fault. But now that I've said that, he's going to think I'm saying it's his fault, which I'm not. Like, I'd put actual money on it being the evaluators right now. Like, I know Kiwi in particular wanted to work on survival when she had a chance. So Kiwi and I are probably going to take a look at that, hopefully soonish. But all of that just kind of goes to show something I was talking about. I think it was in the last stream of this campaign. Maybe it was a different campaign. I think it might have actually been the Pentastar alignment one. But people will comment on the workshop or something like, "Wow, this version lags for me. You need to delete everything and then go back to the old one." When sometimes it's like it's one individual thing that's causing lag, and there'll probably be something older like that in the prior version that they want reinstated as well, rather than being like some systemic problem with us adding whatever unit or feature that they want to complain about. And I'm very specifically talking about one person on the workshop who does this periodically. So it's not a problem that most people have. I'm just being slightly passive-aggressive, which is my right as a YouTuber and a human being. I don't know why they sound like the Aqua Team Hunger Force people when they complain, but they do. Everyone complaining in my mind, I hear, is that. The Mandos do have it? Okay, there we go. Mission accomplished. Blame Nemesis. Also rip Nemesis. No, the Kermit voice and Aqua Teen Hunger Force, they're different voices. One sounds like this, and the other sounds like this. It's kind of similar, but it's not quite the same. One, I guess Kermit's kind of deeper. More of your throat gets involved. And Matrix. This is getting a little risky. I've never actually seen the show, so I've seen like commercials because it was on Adult Swim or something back when I had cable. So I'd see commercials for it when watching like Clone High or the Clone Wars. Well, I didn't really like watching Clone High. My cousin did. So I watched it. Place the mines while they're standing there. There we go. Oh, hey. I don't know. Sometimes I think I might age myself with references, even though I'm not that old. But luckily, our fan base for the mod, and I think the viewership on this channel, skews a little bit older anyways. Like, for a lot of the major mods, the vocal fan bases, like, there's people of all ages who like them, but I think the vocal fan bases tend to skew a bit differently. It's always kind of interesting. And then when I throw in Canadian stuff, that's when it really kind of loses everyone. Conquered Thanos, but what did it cost? Fucking nothing. Except for 3 Corvettes. So I'll take a break on Mandalorians for this episode, probably. we'll get me and the boys being mercenaries. And for Grand Admiral Thrawn and Sausage Meat. So the ground units stay on the build bar until they're actually finished building, because I have to do lifetime build limits, but not current build limits. So it's more of EAW's fun with coding. Build the tax agency. Thanos, what is your 200? That's worth it. Plus you have 4 connections, which we won't get the benefit of entirely, but once we take you know what? We can do that. We can take Roche. They don't have anything that can stop me from doing that.
Let's go.
Tactical battle imminent.
They have no ground units there.
We've located the enemy.
Choose your
Okay,
reinforcements.
well this is kind of a
Be there
letdown.
shortly.
Understood. Engage. Reinforcements.
Coordinates received.
Let's move out.
Sniveling cubs.
Targeting at maximum fire.
Roger that. Enemy target sighted.
Destroyer here.
Heading for
Coordinates received.
Alright. Technically, I think the Spherenas fall well into point defense range, but they don't currently have it. I might actually edit that in for the playthrough.
Yes, Commander.
Yes, we're here. What is it? Lasers locked and ready.
I wanted to use all the units that were on the bleeding edge for this, which means mistakes will be made. Testing will be done. And if I lose, I'll blame it on the testing.
Building under construction.
Alright, let's get ourselves a Dreadnought Shipyard on Deco.
Beginning construction.
Some Art Deco. A Twitch for me to follow or subscribe to? I do have a Twitch. Twitch.tv/Corey Loses. That's where I do the recordings of the other Empire War playthroughs, actually. And things like Mass Effect. And other games that people end up not being interested in on YouTube. So Mal Drood has Tagoria, they have Terrafon, they have a big fleet at Tagoria. I don't know if they have, I don't know if they have a hypervelocity gun on either of those planets.
Construction complete.
Construction complete. Construction complete. Beginning
Pop that in Rickia. Well, this one, because we'll need to take Duxon for that to really start bringing in credits. Or, you know what? You get the shipyard first. Favorite Clone War ship? Yeah, the Rick-Houston. That is the objectively correct answer. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at some percentages here. Independent forces, they're still pulling up up front there. 50 planets owned, 60% of the galaxy's military strength. New Republic at 14, Empire at 8, us with 4. We have 2 fewer planets than the Empire, but 2 more than the New Republic. PA has 11%, so we are falling a little bit behind, actually. Shocking, I know. Ooh, fuck. The PA is getting to the planets I want. I might bump the HV guns recharge timer higher if I have to for this campaign. Otherwise, that's going to be a huge issue, because they're going to build them everywhere.
Construction complete.
Construction complete.
If I do, I'll make sure to note that. Yeah, we're probably going to start on a new fleet. So I'm actually going to move this over here. About some of our ships. We'll be able to rebuild some more over there. We'll want to start having active fleets in different parts of the galaxy. We're here now? No, I don't think we do yet. So let's build You're Not a Fool. They're actually going to be fighting each other soon. Sooner than they're going to be fighting me, at least. Star has taken Cortania. Why is the shipyard there twice? So there's the actual shipyard. Then I do have the ship market structure, which isn't going to do anything for me in this playthrough, but it's there. That's one of the CSA's government mechanics. You can only have one or the other, technically. Right now, because the script's disabled for it, I'd be able to have both if I really wanted it. It'd just be a lot of extra garrisons. But I'm not about to do that. Alright. So I do still need to change the icons for our SSD hero, like do the actual SSD heroing. So we won't be able to build those just yet anyways. Maybe we'll be able to start construction on one of them next time. But we do have Big Chungus and the big one available to us now as well. Which will be, I think they're chunkier than the Antigos. 19,000 hull compared to 16,000, so that'll be a bit better for us to tank hypervelocity gun rounds with. But I think this is actually getting to a good place for us to leave it for this week, so I will finish off a bit more of the work. Any new units that get requested between now and next week for anyone who becomes a Twitch sub, a patron, a channel member here on YouTube who hasn't already requested a ship, you can still get those requests in. We're going to need them. So that is all covered in the links in the description. You can also check this spreadsheet out in the description if you want to see what we have available, what's been dying, what's been living. Next week I will have the hero units all done. So we'll probably get our first hero unit, whether it's an SSD or something else. Well, the space heroes are all SSDs, the ground heroes aren't. The Starhawks probably won't be ready yet, but maybe they'll be ready. But either way, hope you're all enjoying the community challenge so far. It's been a lot of fun for me. Hope it's been as much fun for you guys. We'll be back next Friday with episode 3, and maybe we'll get some more progress done. We got some of the harder stuff out of the way already. Once we get to the Empire New Republic, it's going to get a lot harder.